Now, while we wait for the Dow Jones Industrial Average to eventually eclipse 20,000, it's a great time for us to review an event that precipitated the Trump election victory here in America. Of course, I'm talking about that British exit vote, otherwise known as Brexit, which really set the world on fire by confounding the experts, not only by its outcome, but also by what happened from that decision. Now, initially, the Financial Times called it the FTSE 100. It followed the script, right, of all the fear mongers. Remember, that vote was on June 23rd of last year. The UK Blue Chip Index was at 6,338. It went to 5,982 on June 27th, so it went straight down. And the stage, of course, was set for the blame game and all the other economic disasters that were supposed to happen, but never did. In fact, on the contrary, the FTSE is now up 22% since then. And it's not just a reflection of hype, but also the manifestation of unlocked potential becoming reality. Manufacturing and service economies in the UK are cooking with gas. Third quarter GDP up 2.3%. That's the highest in more than a year. The UK economy has clearly outperformed those of the European continent, which, by the way, continues to reel from embedded issues and policies, only giving lip service with the creation of the EU and, of course, later the euro. UK business confidence crashed in late 2015. It hit its lowest point in the second quarter of last year. It came on pretty strong in the third quarter. I bet it will be positive in the fourth quarter because, according to Visa, the fourth quarter saw the strongest consumer spending in the United Kingdom in more than 2 years. We're talking 7.3% spending at hotels, restaurants, pubs. I was some of that, I'll admit. Okay, so the British exit vote should serve to calm nerves about the stock market rally stalling. Also, more importantly, though, guys, to underscore the potential for the promise of a Trump presidency to yield results. First, of course, he's got to be sworn into the job. Meanwhile, small business optimism in this country rocketing to its highest level since 2004. Here to discuss this groundswell of excitement, Bill Dunkelberg, Susan Solovic, and Danielle DiMarino booth. Bill, that number was mind-boggling. What's going on?
It was mind-boggling. You know, it was the best since 2004, and it was really close to the numbers we saw in 1983 at the beginning of that great 1983 to 1990 expansion after the last time we had 10% unemployment. But, of course, a very different set of policies in place than we had in 2009.
They are, but here's the thing, Susan. Donald Trump hasn't even been sworn in yet, so, these businesses are getting excited about a lot of things. Expect the economy to improve, up 38% to 50%. Expect real sales to be higher, up 20% to 31%. Can this become reality? Sometimes life is self-fulfilling.
Well, there's an old saying in business, Charles, that, don't raise expectations so high that you can't deliver on them. But I do believe that we've been so suffocated by this past administration that people are ecstatic about the Trump administration and what it means for small businesses. We are clearly in need of tax reform. We need to get rid of these regulations that are stifling small businesses. And I've said it on your show before, Charles, that if you want the economy to get going again, you've got to get small businesses growing again.
Absolutely.
So I think these numbers are very optimistic. I think we've got a lot to look forward to. I can't believe that I saw Michelle Obama on one of the talk shows recently, and she said, oh, nobody has any hope anymore. Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
She didn't talk
Look
to
at
small
this.
businesses.
And there was a...
Let me
yeah,
ask you,
exactly. And there was
Danielle, there was a very important speech by one of the Fed officials, a voting member on Saturday. And even the Fed is starting to, in my mind, it looks like even the Fed is becoming excited about the notion that fiscal policy is going to match the efforts that the Fed has put in to keep this economy buoyant.
Well, it's certainly the missing link, right? The Fed has been the only game in town for the past 8 years, and because of that, they've actually ended up distorting the market. So I think that there are a lot of rational members on the Federal Open Market Committee who would prefer to step aside and let the fiscal authorities unleash animal spirits for a change. One of the most encouraging things that I saw, and Bill pointed this out earlier today, but one of the most encouraging things that I saw is it's not just people's expectations that things are going to improve in the future, but actual plans for capital expenditures went through the roof in this last survey, so they're actually going to put their money where their mouth is. And again, this is before inauguration day, Charles. Yeah. These are very, very heartening numbers that we're seeing coming out of the NFIB.
The animal spirits are alive and well, guys. We could talk about this forever, but a lot of breaking news. I appreciate your expertise. Thank you all very much.